Welcome back, guys. It has been a couple of minutes between yarns. I have been busy building Alpha Tradie and supporting some of the country's best trade business owners. And this season of the Lifestyle Empire podcast, we're getting down and dirty. We're out of the studio, we haven't got the big cameras and the great stage lighting. We are doing it down and dirty and we are getting it raw. We'll be talking to some of the people that I have been working with and some of the great founders and their stories of what makes their business truly stand out. Think about industry leaders, people building a legacy, dads out there crushing it. Now today, we have a special guest. This is Albert Toma from Toma Power Solutions. Now, he has grown in the past 8 months from doing 50K months up to 240K months. And I know what you're thinking. You want to know his profit margins. Well, let's just say they are juicy. Now, in today's episode, expect to learn the real struggles and what it takes to grow an electrical business and how proper planning can completely change the trajectory of the business and the most powerful lessons Albert learned from working with Alpha Tradie. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guy, Albert Toma.
Thank you, brother. Good to be here.
Mate, if you can please get us up to speed with Toma Power Solutions. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've grown to a team of 12.
Yep.
We have exponentially increased our knowledge in what it means to run a trade business. And we have narrowed down who we're targeting and what we do rather than just being a one-stop shop for every, Tom, Dick, and Harry. We have figured out who we want to serve. So now we specialize in high-end residential and commercial projects. We aren't saying yes to everything. We've learned the power of saying no. We've learned the power of delegating. So we have 8 guys on the front line. One of our leading hands is in the process of becoming a full-time project manager off the tools. And I am working hand in hand with our BDM, Daniel, on closing deals and scaling the business even further. So things are looking good for us, and it's only the beginning.
Awesome. Bro, please. You said that you've drilled down and you've got focused on who we're working with. Why? What's the importance of that?
Well, as you first start out, so, I started the business working out of my childhood bedroom, living with my parents. Just a little laptop on my bed, made my own logos, Instagram, ABN, got it all sorted, ready to go. How do I find work? So I went through my contacts list. Who do I know? Call them up. Hey, guys, I've just went out on my own. Any work you have, I'll do it for free at this point. Like, just give me a go. And you start out working for anyone and everyone, but you soon realize that not everyone is your ideal client, and you end up losing a lot of money. I wouldn't say it was a loss or a regret because I learned a lot through working for the wrong people. I figured out who the right people were. And what I've realized in business is that everyone that I serve as a tradesman is a relational transaction. So you're building a relationship with your clients, and if that relationship isn't going to be mutually beneficial, if they are going to squeeze me for $50 or $20, it's not going to be scalable. I can't make a living off of that. I can't make a profit off of that. And
this is that argument for working for Karens, like changing a few downlights and doing it for $249, and then they go and hammer you on price afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah, and oh yeah. It wasn't for me. And I have a lot of friends who run a one-man band or two-man band, and it works for them. And that business model would have worked maybe if it was just me and one apprentice. But I made the decision that that's not what I wanted while I'm going through this and I'm putting the blood, sweat, and tears into building a business. I want to do big projects, large scale stuff, really challenging stuff, really meaningful. I want to build hospitals. I want to build skyscrapers, and I want to really make an impact and do amazing things that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. So I need to build a team. And in order to build a team and feed that team, I need big projects that can feed these guys. And rather than doing 1,000 jobs for $100 each, I'd rather do 10 jobs for $1 million each. So
Shit, yeah. So would I.
thought that density rather than volume, and yeah, just narrowed down on targeting who those people were and building a brand that would attract those clients, so they would see me as a trustworthy companion for them to now serve them long term. So just got really clear on what we wanted.
At what stage of us working together, or even prior, like when did you where did Alpha Trading fit in there? What was the scenario? So had you already started doing commercial? Were you thinking about it? Were you migrating through? At which point did Alpha Trading come into the scenario?
It was, I think, so we started out January this year. Hasn't even been a full 12 months working together, but the main thing that I was looking for was someone with immense clarity around the numbers and someone who had a formula for success, who had walked the path before. And that's why I chose to reach out to Alpha Trading, because I saw someone who had actually been in the trenches, who's built a trade business. And it's not like any other business. You know, there's all these sales gurus on getting you leads, but they're not tradies. So I wanted to work with a tradie, and that was the selling point for me. When I jumped on a call with you that first time, I realized he actually understands trades. And although you're not a sparky, the business model and the frameworks that you use to scale build clean, I realized we can apply to my own business. And so getting the clarity around the numbers and realizing where we lost money. And in those months, I looked at what jobs we had booked, and they were for all of those particular clients. And I realized those particular clients is what made us lose money, going return work for these time wasters who we weren't charging out for all of these visits.
And
And
the numbers don't lie, do they? As soon as you dig into the data, it's like black and white. You can see exactly where it is.
100%.
That formula for success,
Mm.
it is obvious by the gains and the growth that you've had, that you now know that formula success. But I want to go back a little bit before, because I know heaps of trade business owners, they hit this wall at some point.
Yeah.
What was the toughest part about running the business before we met?
Toughest part about running the business, I would say, would be the predictability of it. Not knowing whether or not this month would be successful or not, because we didn't really have a plan in place. It was just work as hard as you can until the stars align. It's like, maybe this month, yeah, no, I'll just work harder. I didn't work hard enough, but I was working my ass off, really, and I just didn't have the clarity, and I was wasting a lot of time. So
Was there a moment there where you were like, fuck, something's got to give? Was there a breaking point?
yeah, I think so. It was when I was just having trouble with my team. I couldn't get them to replicate me. I wasn't having issues on site when it was just me. When I decided to hire people, especially a tradesman, and I'm taking out a massive chunk of my profit to pay someone now to do the work I was once doing, and my clients weren't as happy as when I was on site and we weren't making money. And I couldn't get through to the team no matter how much I repeated myself. That's when I realized I need to get clear with my team so that my team knows what to do and what's expected. And I need to be able to ensure that I can feed these guys every single month and feed my own family as well. So I think it was when I was having issues with the guys on site after 12 months of trying on my own, I realized, why not just get someone who has the formulas, who can save me the time and the heartache of fucking up.
And it becomes like the pressure stacks up, doesn't it? Once you've got other mouths to feed, you are now responsible. You've got a duty and obligation to keep these guys in work, and not just any work, but the best like scenario, the best environment that you can provide for them. I want to know what did you try that didn't work? Because I've started a few companies in my time, and I've been to a few of them, and not many people know about them. What have you tried before we started working together that didn't really catch?
I just tried talking to the guys. I tried. I didn't do any courses. I didn't work with any other coaches. I was trying to learn it on my own, just through listening to podcasts and YouTube. But I needed someone to actually zoom in and analyze my business, and we could actually have a one-on-one and go through my own business together. So I was trying to just muscle through it on my own with my own research. There's a lot on YouTube, and there's a lot of books to read, and that does help. Obviously, I still do that. Always upskilling, always trying to learn and improve. But having someone come into the business, that was a first. And before, yeah, I guess I was just trying to talk to people and just try different tactics, but it was two sides of the same coin. The things I was trying were, well, it wasn't a drastic change. My knowledge needed to improve, and I needed to pretty much start fresh.
And when we did start working together, I remember there was, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of, Sam, this is a huge investment for me, and I'm pushed to my limit at the moment. What was the impact of the stress? How was that affecting you and probably the family as well? Because since we've working together, you've become a father, but prior to that, you were like, I've got a baby on the way and I need to fucking make something work. Like, this has got to kick. What was your mental state like prior?
I was always busy. I always word it that way, like busy. I didn't have a lot of time for anyone. I was pretty stressed. Lost a lot of money. I was hoping to just not lose any more. So the collateral damage was just me always working, and that was the main one. I was pretty time poor. I'm not where I want to be yet. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied until I really hit the long-term goals of the business. I think that's something that I always need to carry, that I'm content, I'm grateful for what I have, but I'm never satisfied. I'm always improving and always innovating. But at that time, I just lacked clarity. So, and it showed. I was always like stressed out. So I just needed to work hard and work more, but I didn't know what to delegate my time to. So the difference now is doing high leverage tasks and figuring out what was low leverage and what I could delegate and pass on to, and setting really clear expectations, clear job descriptions, in writing, building systems that were clear cut, and opening up the numbers to the team and showing them exactly where we're at, what we're struggling with, how much money we just lost, and what we need to do to change. So if something doesn't change, you're all losing your jobs, including me.
It's not something you want to say to the team too much or at all. But it's definitely a feeling, that's for sure, where it starts to boil to the surface. I want you to be honest, because you've kind of been pumping my tires, and it's not the intention of season 3 of the Lifestyle Empire. But I want you to have a moment against, or what was like a moment of hesitation against us working together?
I guess it was that it was a gamble. It was like there's no guarantee for success here, and I might just again be too busy to be doing other things that I'm going to neglect, or I'm not going to do my part. I didn't know you 100%, obviously, but I listened to my gut, listened to my instinct. But yeah, I guess it was a risk, as like anything is a risk. There was hesitation, but it was more so, what do I have to lose if I start with you, and if I follow your processes based on testimonials that it has worked with other people, if you claim to know so much about trade businesses, and you're confident that if I do these things, it will work, and it wasn't like it wasn't hard to realize that these things make sense. It was logical. So I guess there wasn't really a strong hesitation. I believe my judgment was accurate for me to even make the call and reach out. I believe that my judgment was accurate, so I was confident that it would work.
Okay, let's have some fun now. What was a light bulb moment? What was one moment where you were like, yeah, this is the thing, or this is on, or this is the right way? What was one thing?
One thing. Uh,
Put you on the spot here for it.
yeah, if I had to pick one,
Because there
it
were
was
some big moves around the office that happened pretty fast. You know, we had our business development manager come in almost within a few weeks of us starting together. There was a few other big moves as well.
mm,
But I'm kind of
yeah.
searching for like, what was the thing that you thought that we didn't get to see that was like, yes, I can see clearly.
I'd say a big one was being able to effectively delegate. I think getting clarity around my role. The light bulb moment was um, realizing what identity I needed to embody as a director. I got clear on what a director should be, and I realized that I'm no longer a tradesman. I'm no longer an electrician or an operator, and I need to view myself differently, and I need to really value my time so much more, and my role in the business as a director is so different to what it used to be. Realizing what got me here is not going to get me to the next level, so I had to completely shift and change identities and really be able to delegate. Like, for example, with a business development manager, rather than me trying to hustle for all of the leads and chasing work, getting someone in the team, Daniel, being able to help and bring in all of his expertise in communication and in sales to take on that role of getting leads. So that whole chunk of of the business, which is pipeline, so marketing and sales, Daniel really took over,
Mm-hmm.
whereas I could focus on operations and on the team and on the profit. And then now we're delegating another side of that, which is a management team, and then eventually we're delegating another side of it, which is the accounts team, and making sure that economic engine works. And I just realized that. That there is an engine. If we have enough work, then we just need to make sure we have enough guys to do the work, and then we need to make sure that we're making a profit, and then with that profit we can scale it back in and build the business into a position where we're satisfied and we're comfortable, or maybe we'll never be comfortable, we just keep on growing.
I think
uh,
that's a pretty strong part of it. If you're like, we've worked together for long enough to know that both of us probably will just continue on building, just because it's something that's been wired into us. We'll build something until the day we can no longer type a keyboard, move a pen, or
mm,
make an investment.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's the fun of it. I realize that, you know, in some aspect, business is a game, and it's almost like a monopoly. But one core value that I wanted to shine through the business was just maintaining an ethical standpoint of real service. If we truly serve, our clients will serve us back with recurring work and repeat work. And if we represent the brand the right way, we
Mm-hmm.
will grow without a question. And yeah, I just think it's an amazing thing to be able to give people jobs, meaningful careers, a team culture that they're happy to be a part of, an exciting future, and give people a prosperous career, and actually, really build your guys' goals up. Some of the guys will say, my goal is to build a house, or pay off my parents' mortgage, and we'll actually write those things down in performance reviews, and we'll meet regularly to discuss how we're tracking, how are your finances going, and how are you finding things, any feedback you have for me, how can we make things better. So I really thrive off that, and that's where I've found a lot of meaning and purpose in building the business. So it's exciting.
And it shows that you are doing a lot behind the scenes that most people would think are a bit of a waste of time. Like we've spoken about job descriptions, we've spoken about performance reviews, we've spoken about leaning into the goals of your team members so that you can foster career pathways for them to achieve their goals. It's all of those things that have that they turn the momentum, they keep things moving forward, and they keep the improvements not just going at 1% or 2%, but they go at 50% and 60%, and it increases at an increasing rate. I want to go back to your managing director role, because this is something that a lot of us get a little bit perplexed with or get stuck in certain levels. At one point, you were a glorified sole trader, really. You're still proprietary limited, but you were still heading to site, doing the quotes, accounts, driving the pipeline, recruiting the guys, doing the admin, the whole lot.
Yeah.
When or how did you decide that bringing another non-billable, another manager in was a good idea, and why the BDM role? Because like you could do admin, you could go project management, you could go estimating. It's all relative and it's all personal preference, but I want to know what your perspective is on it.
Yeah, I guess it's different for everyone, but for me, my trust in my immediate network. So I had already established a strong connection with someone who had the skill set as a BDM, and it just made sense because the main issues we were facing at the time as well was just the worry of not having enough work or just chasing shitty leads. We weren't having dollar productive leads, and I was relying on word of mouth or referrals, or we weren't targeting the leads we wanted. So getting a BDM was solving that first problem. So as we looked at the bottlenecks in the business, our first one was pipeline. We need to get better quality leads in order to feed our team. So getting a BDM first, that was the lowest hanging fruit for me. It was the lowest risk, because if we have a BDM who's getting us leads, getting us the deals, the RFQs, we're quoting, and we're putting on a margin on top for the BDM to make a commission, it's no risk. It's no harm, no foul for us. The BDM is also taking the risk, putting skin in the game. Is like, I'm going to make this sale because I want my commission as well, and to feed my own family. So there wasn't a strong risk involved in what if we don't have enough work. So that was really solving the first problem. Then the next problem would be we need to recruit. So we need to get more guys. We have too much work. So,
and this is the beauty of being in an industry where you get purchase orders and you get, like, let's say at worst 7 days notice to mobilize on site. But at the longest, you get 2 to 3 months. You might get 8 to 12 to 16 weeks before you have to mobilize on site. So the BDM came in, drove the pipeline forward to get that future work, to build the pipeline up for the future, and then insert problem 2, because you get too much work and then you've got to fulfill it. How'd you solve the people problem? Because I've only heard you say once, I can't find good guys, and it was only once. What'd you do?
Yeah, well, it's like you said. At worst, you have too much work where you can't find guys, and you need to hire more. Like what a great problem to have, So
exactly. Poor you, world's smallest violin, playing just for you with too much work.
Exactly. So looking at it from that front, it's like, wow, we've got so much work. This is great, And then again, it comes down to the brand. It comes down to the culture and how we're portraying ourselves online. So we put out a recruitment video showcasing brand culture, brand values, who we are, what we do, and what we offer. And we just got a lot of attention from that one video, as well as our other videos that we were posting.
Yep. And you had a hypothesis, really. It was leaning into content to improve the brand, not only to help build the pipeline first, and then there was a slight pivot, wasn't it? We spoke about changing it from just completed projects and project showcases, just flexing what we can do, into now let's show the faces of the people, because we're about to start recruiting on it. And then you dropped the recruiting video, and how many applications did you get? It was out of control.
Yeah, it was, I think like 300. Yeah.
Let's go. How many of those applications were who were electricians, an apprentice and qualified? Because you were recruiting for a qualified or a leading hand, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah, we were recruiting for leading hands. To be fair, out of that 300, it was probably like 30 that were actual solid A grades or fourth year apprentices. The others were apprentices, just saying, hey, do you need an apprentice? Which is great. We've actually put all of those apprentices into a recruitment folder where we will be looking at apprentices into the next year. So they weren't a total loss, but we did target and we did hire through that.
300 applications,
Yeah,
full of people that would be suitable for a role within the company. This just wasn't random people from overseas.
yeah,
300 or so applications is crazy.
yeah, yeah. Some were so we did a trial. We did two different an A and B test. One was with our own wording, and one was with Meta's wording, Meta's targeting. And one was attracting some people from Sydney and some people from Perth, which didn't really apply to us. So there were a couple stragglers, but yeah, for the most part, we even improved. We got like 150 followers from that post as well. So it was a win-win. Yeah, that's what we did.
When you said that, I think you were drilling into the audience there. You split tested, you tried. So this is a recruiting campaign that we teach over and over for Instagram. It's getting the recruiting asset, the recruiting video dialed in first. And then what you're referring to there was split testing different audiences to see which got in front of the right people. So it's the same ad put out to two different targets to see what would produce.
Yes. Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. That was a really good indicator to see what works and what doesn't. And getting the ad in front of the right people, we realized, okay, what we need to do next time, we don't want any more people from Sydney or Perth. So we know what adjustments to make from that, doing the A and B tests. So that was really helpful.
Awesome. What about budget spent on that, just to round out the recruiting campaign for that example?
So we used the same amount that I would have paid for a Seek ad on the recruitment. So I would have paid about $700 for a Seek ad. So I did $350 and $350 on the two ads. So $700.
And now we've always got the recruiting video as well. That was done with a content creator. So there was a cost involved in that. But we've got that asset forever. It's not like you post a Seek ad and then it disappears and you don't get anything. We've got something tangible that we can keep from that campaign.
Exactly. Yeah. And we are doing another recruitment video because we realized we want to attract a different character, a different person. So we now created a new video with different visuals. We want to attract some older guys. So we got all of our oldest guys in our company. We want to attract guys with commercial experience. So we're only putting on high-vis and working on commercial sites. And we're putting out another recruitment video to attract that unicorn, as you call it, that one person.
Talk to one person. So let's break that apart a little bit further because it's super important for people to understand. What was the first one? What was the target? What was the visuals? And then what's changed for this one?
Yeah, so the first one, the visuals were the team, and there were a lot of apprentices in that video. It was some of our younger guys, and we realized maybe that's affecting who we're attracting. So that's why we got so many apprentices, and we still got A grades. But for this next one, the difference is some of our older guys. All of our oldest guys were wearing high-vis rather than just wearing our residential gear. We're wearing our commercial gear, and we're going to be getting footage on commercial sites as well as in front of our factory, which we didn't have before. So showcasing that we have a factory, that we've got senior electricians in our team, that we do commercial work. We're going to attract some different fish, and that's what we're targeting.
This is awesome because the future of the company is leaning further and further or more predominant into the commercial space. And you guys are on the front foot now of like, we want some senior, we want some skills, we need some different skill sets in the team. And now adjusting your recruiting message. So recruiting is still just marketing, but adjusting that message to talk to the right person. That's spot on.
Yes. Yeah. And I wouldn't have known any of this stuff before, so it's just been a learning curve, but fail and then get feedback, and then fail again and then get more feedback. So it's really just a matter of trial and error.
I think a lot of people out there, they may fail in inverted commas or have some, some downsides or some upsetting moments or some things that don't work. And instead of searching for the feedback on it, instead of trying to learn from it, they get frustrated. And then they go back down the same path. They get frustrated again until they give up on it.
Mm. Yeah, it's like I think it's Kobe Bryant that has the saying where they ask him when he shoots a shot, 9 times out of 10 he gets it in, 9.9 times out of 10, and they asked him, "What are you thinking when you shoot?" And he's thinking of getting it in every single time. He visualizes getting the shot in. He doesn't believe that it's not going to get in, because what's the point of trying if you think you're going to fail? But he doesn't even have that in his mind of thinking, I may stuff up here, I may miss. Like he believes in it and he goes for it, and it's just having that 100% conviction in if you're going to do something, do it. But for him to get to that point where now pretty much 10 times out of 10 when he shoots, he gets it in, it would have taken him thousands and thousands and thousands of misses. And if he didn't go through that necessary growth period of all of those failures, all of those mistakes, he wouldn't have ever tasted success. But it reminds me of a lot of people. They'll try something maybe twice or 3 times and then just give up. But maybe on that 4th or 5th time, you would have tasted a little bit of success. So if you just tried it a little bit longer and just kept going.
Yeah. And we see this example, just to bring it back to recruiting. We see this all the time where somebody would post a singular Seek ad, probably use the cheapest option, the budget option with about $350 or something. Post one Seek ad, not like any of the applications that come through, and then write Seek off completely and go, Seek doesn't work. And then alternately, they might see some of the stuff. They might see your recruiting video and go, okay, cool, I'm going to remake that. Not know all of the backing behind it, not have the research and the feedback behind it. Make one video, potentially do it reasonably poorly, and then write that off and go, oh, no, I've tried Seek, I've tried Instagram, recruiting doesn't work, good people are hard to find. This is a game of shots on goal, isn't it? And if your recruiting video didn't slap, and I'm going to go ahead and call you the Kobe Bryant of recruiting electricians, if it didn't slap, you would have taken shot on goal after shot on goal until it finally worked.
Yes. Yeah. And again, it's gone back to that formula for success, thinking rationally, logically. Why shouldn't this work? Because everyone is glued to their phones. People are so glued to it, they have to look at it when they're driving. So surely that this has to get in front of the right person at the right time. And when it's meant to be, that person will see it. He just got laid off, or his boss just yelled at him, and he's like, you know what, it's time for a change, and it'll work. It just didn't get in front of the right people, or he might have clicked on your page and saw they don't really do the work I'm looking for. So you just got to keep trying, man.
Let's spin it back into the management team. Who's in the management team now? So
we've got Daniel, as we mentioned, as the business development manager. We have accounts manager, which is my wife. She takes care of that. So she's a stay-at-home mum, and she looks after accounts, and that's something that she can handle. And it's someone I can trust as well for that role. Until we have a lot more kids and she can't handle it, she'll train the next person on that role.
Till you go for 3.
Until I become like you and get 3 kids, and maybe she'll find something else to do. But we have Josh, who's one of our leading hands. He's been with us just over 12 months now, but we're rewarding him with becoming a project manager, getting him off the tools. And then we have as well an estimator. So I'm training up a dedicated estimator who will eventually take care of all quoting with our project manager. So I'm handballing all of estimating to our project manager and our estimator. And we have our administrations manager as well, looking after all of our emails, certificates, and applications, and just client communications, inquiries. And then there's myself as the managing director. So I'm also working with Josh as the project manager. I'm basically still the operations manager, if you will. So the next step would be to get more frontline guys, to bring in more revenue eventually, so we can pay for another operations manager. Eventually, I'll let go of that role as well and just be the visionary and director for the company.
And then you can get back into your boxing career.
Yeah, then I'll start fighting again.
I want to drill in for a sec, because like a few people's ears would have pricked up about leveling up a grade to a leading hand to a project manager. Can you talk us through Josh's progression, and give us a bit of an example of how he's progressing, or what tactically you're doing to get him up?
Yeah, so the main one here would be open book management, just being completely transparent and honest with him. So from the start, it wasn't the case. First, obviously, I wanted to test him out, see what he's made of, give him some hard jobs, some good jobs, ask for some favors, give him some challenges, and he showed a lot of commitment. But the main feedback was that the team liked him, the team respected him, they found him easy to listen to, easy to follow, because he wasn't a prick. Clients loved him as well, giving him good feedback. He's a humble guy, respectful, and yeah, please feel free to send Josh to our jobs next time as well. And he was delivering jobs on time, and he was delivering them to a high standard. So I realized this is someone I want to keep, and I wanted to ensure that he felt valued and appreciated, that he wasn't going to leave and find a better job. So gave him a pay rise, gave him the work vehicle to use personally for whatever he wanted, rather than just using it purely for work, use it for anything. I thought that would be a little incentive to show him my appreciation for as much as I could at that time. So then it started to be open book management, showing him the numbers. This is what we've just hit. This is what we've just stuffed up on. And this is what we need to do these next 3 months. These are my targets. These are my goals. You're my right-hand man. I trust you. You're my eyes and ears on site. I need you to give me feedback. Who's good? Who's not good? What do you need? How can we get better? And pretty much treating him like we're building this thing together. It's not just me telling you what to do. I trust your judgment. If you decide to move a point here or there on site, don't have to call me. I trust you. So I stopped micromanaging and I let go. And rather than me wanting to do everything my way, I said, I trust your technical ability, and you can make those calls on site. If it's big, if it's something that we need to discuss together because there's a major decision involved, no worries, call me. But while you're on site, I'm also over here getting us the best clients possible. And then it was kind of like a synergy. We're building this thing together, and really took his feedback, really allowed him to feel involved in the journey that we are building together. So I guess I kind of got him invested in the long game. So I shared with him the organization chart. I shared with him the financial forecast. I showed him the things that a normal employee wouldn't really see in other companies. So I showed him hand in hand, this is what we're building, this is what we're doing. And he's seen the progress. So he's actually seen us go into a factory, seen us hire a lot more guys, and seen us get a lot more clients that we used to once talk about working for, and now we're actually working for them. So I think he's become a strong believer in the vision, and he's pretty much a buy-in. And I had to convince him that this vision, I'm not just talking shit. If I say something, I'm really going to give it my all to try and make it happen. And he believed in me, and because I believed in him. So I think that's and also the team saw that, and it was kind of like a healthy jealousy, if you will. They're like, why is Josh getting all this appraisal and getting all this attention? So I think they kind of realized that that's what pays off. So he shows up on time, he puts the work in, he puts commitment in, he's not calling in sick, and clients like him. He's being honest. It's all the non-negotiables, the simple stuff that he was putting in, and I remunerated him for that. And so now his goal when he first started with me was to get off the tools by the age of 30. So now he's 27. He's already getting off the tools in 12 months rather than in 4 years, when he started when he was 26. So
And you would have never have known any of that if you didn't ask him some simple questions about what he wants to do with his future, where he wants to go. Those kind of feedback pieces have a dramatic effect on how long you can keep these great guys around for.
Yes.
And what roles they can progress to.
Yeah. In the interviewing process, I realized I really need to get deep, and that's why I asked him, what's your biggest driver in life? Like, what do you actually want out of your life? What's an ideal life for you? What's most important to you? What are your personal and professional goals? And we really sat down and we talked about it, and we wrote it all down. And looking back, we've smashed a lot of those goals.
Well, you're 3 years ahead of his target to get him off the tools.
Yeah.
Didn't you today? You just went out and bought him a new ute.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's wrapped.
Can we have a little bit of a look or a little bit of an example with your estimating team member? What's the structure set up? What's the scenario for bringing an estimator in?
So with an estimator, I've pretty much gone straight to a virtual assistant, as that was the lowest hanging fruit. Again, easy, minimal training involved. They've already understand electrical plans and drawings, and that was something that was taking hours of my time a week, and pretty much passed all of that on directly to a virtual assistant. So jumped on a website where virtual assistants are all available. So put out an ad and attracted a electrical estimator and trialed them out, gave them a couple jobs to count up and mark up, and jumped on a video call with them and sussed out their English, how well they speak English, are they educated or not. And I signed up one virtual assistant, and I've been working with her. Her name's Charmaine, and she's amazing. She's an asset to the company.
Charmaine.
Yeah, Charmaine, she's wonderful. She has a family of her own, so we're blessing her and her family. She sometimes works till 2 a.m. in the morning trying to really hit deadlines on estimates or tenders that come through that are really exciting. So she's fully invested in the business and really appreciative of her work, and saves me a lot of time. So we're in the process of her pretty much doing the count up to requesting pricing from all of our suppliers to completely finalizing the actual tender. And we just do a 10-minute review or half an hour review of a project, of an estimate that she's done. And she does a presentation to me, showing me all of her quantities, what she's allowed for, what she hasn't allowed for. And then we go through it, and she's just getting better and better every day. So eventually she'll just take the whole thing and do the whole process.
And how did you find her? Where do you find this unicorn?
This one is onlinejobs.ph. It's
straight to the
Filipino. Yeah, right there.
Fantastic.
That's where I went.
With the systems, the structures, the people, the pipeline, all of the things that we've built over the past 8 months, how do you feel about the future compared to when you started?
Very optimistic. Yeah, very hungry for the future.
Paint a tangible picture for us. What does the future actually look like?
Future looks like having a minimum of 30 guys on the team. Me being able to go on a holiday for 3 months.
This has got Santorini and Amalfi Coast written all over it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Wherever I'd like to take my family, wherever they want to go, we can go. And I go for 3 months, and I come back, and the business is doing even better than when I left. That's the goal. So with 30 guys, doing anywhere between 20 to 40 million in revenue, and just being able to fully exit the business and buying my time back, as the great book over here, buy back your time.
Dan Martell would say, buy back your time, for sure.
Oh, great read here. So that's the goal, to buy back my time, to be completely time free, and have guys in every position of the business that are not only just maintaining, but actually incentivized to grow the business and scale as well. So even the scaling part of the business, I won't have to do, but I'll still be involved because it's what I love to do. It brings me joy, and I'm very passionate about building the business, and that's the goal. So 2030, I think that's the 2030 plan at this point. So that's a 5-year plan of having a team of 30 doing anywhere between 20 to 40 million in revenue, and being able to fully exit the business and basically not have to lift a finger. There are managers in every role of the business, and all thriving as well in their own personal lives, and all making a great deal of cash for their families to set their children apart as well and build generational wealth. Because if it was only me making money and not the team, then I don't think it would last long. I think they would realize that I'm snaking them, and they would leave.
And this notion of looking after your people and really caring about your team has been like alive and well throughout this whole conversation. Everything draws back to what the team members' goals are. What can we do in the company to facilitate their growth, their goals? Because ultimately, if you want to, like, we've now escaped operations, now we want to scale operations. For the team to be able to scale that for us, they've got to be driven, they've got to be involved in the company, but they also need to be ticking off their own goals as well. Otherwise, they're going to go looking elsewhere for their own goals.
100%. And I think it's about realizing that, personal and professional goals cannot be separated. I think getting the guys' goals, their personal goals, interwoven with their work is really really the key here. Realizing that you come to work, you spend 8 hours a day, a third of your life here at work. And if it's just work and it means nothing else to you, and that's just personal, you're never really going to go far. But realizing that this work that you do can, if you really harness it and get clear on who you want to be in your career, it will change who you are also in your personal life. And not just being their boss, but actually, being almost like a counselor, a friend. Let's dissect your goals, your personal goals. What's true to you? What's your why? What's your core? Can you withstand struggle? And what do you truly need? And all right, this is what I need. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, great. This is not for you then. Or okay, this is for you. And so just getting really clear and building that relationship where they can be open and honest, and they realize that I'm not a dictator. I'm also another man trying to survive and do the best and live a good life. So it's like I can live a good life as well. It's not just the boss. I'm making all the money. I can actually make really good money here, and everyone wants to make good money and feed their family. So I think getting the guys to realize you can make really good money here and have a meaningful career, not just the money, because you can go work in a union and make $60, $70 as an hour as a electrician. But over here, you can make a lot more than that. And
you don't have to work 6-day sites and all the rest of it that comes along.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can do so much more. So selling the vision to the team and getting them to believe it, and actually believing it yourself. I think that's the main thing. I've got to really believe it myself, and I've got to really map out what I want, and then be honest and deliver on the promises that I make to the team. And when they see that I'm delivering on my promises, our director has integrity. If he says something, he's actually going to honor it. If he fucks up, he's going to be honest about it. And just radical transparency with the team, I think, is important.
What about you personally? What are your personal goals, or how has the company facilitated those personal goals? Because in the past 8 months, you've become a father. We've moved the company to the warehouse. You're now out of the house. Your partner's an employee as well. What are your personal goals?
My personal goals, again, like I said, is to buy back my time, to be time free, to be a present father, and to be there for the milestones, to see my kids take their first steps, take them on holidays. I want to be able to do all those things rather than just, oh, sorry, I have to work. I'm stuck. I can't move. I've got bills to pay. I just can't. And I feel like rather than running to something, I'm running away from something as well. So I'm running away from that image of me, always working, never being available, always being stressed. So my goal is to not be that, and I'm pushing away from that, and I'm pushing towards being the father, the husband, the brother, the friend that I can be proud of. And my goal is to just grow every single day, to be better than I was yesterday. All cliche things, but I think really simple daily goals for me is really important. And that long term goal is to look back in the last, to look back on my life and just not have any regrets, and realize I can proudly say that I did everything I could. I've got no regrets. I gave it my all. Like, I built a business and I went fucking hard and I did it. And now my children can take over the business, or they can learn and what it means to build a business and build their own, and inspire a team to. Now I can sell the business to someone who's, maybe I can sell it to Josh in 10, 20 years time, where he decides I'm going to take over, or sell it to someone who's an apprentice right now, and in 10 years time he'll be qualified and he'll want to run it. There's just so many opportunities, and it's endless. But personal goals for me, it's just to make the most of life and not live in stress and not live in worry or concern, but to really live life to its fullest and build meaningful relationships and yeah,
Grow as much as it gets emotional, doesn't it? It gets heated when you start talking about your personal goals. You're
yeah,
starting to almost like visualize or speak your personal goals into existence around the personal brand component. What are
yeah.
you working on with the personal brand? Because I've seen a huge increase in not only the quality but the quantity of stuff that you're sharing about your personal life. What are you doing? What's the mentality? What's the methodology there?
It's authenticity. I'm trying to show the vulnerability, the rawness and the realness of just being a business owner, being a father, being a man in general, the struggles, the good, bad, and the ugly of it, the just the transparent side of it. So just not holding back any filters of it, and just telling a story. I've got one person I forgot to mention who's a key asset to the business is our creative director, who's actually sharing an office space with us. His name's Vlad, and he's been helping build our brand and take care of all of our content and our marketing. So we've built a story. We've built the visuals around how to share the story, and it's all built around being authentic and being real. So I'm just inviting people on the journey of who I am and who I'm becoming. So it's like, just welcome to my life, really.
Welcome to the fucking rock show.
Yeah.
Albert, there's plenty of guys that are sitting in the same position right now as you were 6-8 months ago. What would you say to them? What's your advice for them?
Surround yourself with the right people. I would say to really do an audit on who you're taking advice from, on who you're listening to, and especially including yourself, including the voice inside your own head, your internal dialogue that's crushing your confidence and that's weighing you down. I would really surround myself with people that I look up to, that know more than me, that are way wiser than me, that are older than me. May not necessarily be older, but just people that I can grow from, I can learn from. And if you don't have that circle now, jump online, look up podcasts of people that you respect and you admire, and listen to those people, and don't try to do everything yourself, because it's the quickest way to fail. You you can go fast alone, but you can go far together, as that saying goes. But realize who's in your circle, what environment are you surrounding yourself in. If all your mates are small-minded, don't want to achieve anything, don't give a shit about you or your business, and just, yeah, whatever, who cares, get rid of them. Find people who are going to back you and going to talk about big visions and big dreams, and then make it tangible, make it real. I'll chunk up really high and say my goal is be a billionaire, and then, okay, let's break that down, and what do we need to do in daily, and or my goal is to be fit and to be strong. Okay, what can you do?
Stand on stage in your jocks and win a trophy for it.
whatever you want.
Yours is probably to win a championship belt.
Yeah, it was. My dream was to be a world champion. That's the top. Okay, world champ. I'll aim for that. And then it just redirected. I pivoted. I shifted gears into building the business and being there for my family. When I realized my goal is to really be a present father, to be there for my kids, I realized if I'm going to pursue boxing and become a world champion, I'm going to have to spend 6-12 months at a time away from my family a year. I'm never gonna see them because I'll be in training camps and whatnot. I realized that I want to build a business, so I built a business.
That's where it starts, knowing exactly what you want to do, isn't it? If you could sum up your journey with Alpha Tradie, what would it be?
I would say refining. It's been a journey of refinement, of learning, just shaving away the things that I thought would work. It's been humbling. It's been really humbling, realizing there are so many ways to do business. There's so many better ways to what I thought would work. But it's been exciting, I'd say. The journey's been exciting. So month after month, we get action items. We dissect the business together, and we work out what's next. And then we go out and we target those action items, and then we come back and it's okay, what's next? And so it's been a back and forth of a little bit of reward, and now a little bit of tasks to do. Let's continue. Let's keep going. So it's been exciting. It's been eye-opening to realize what's possible, and just realizing the simplicity of it. It's not complicated. I don't know what to do. I'll get messages from people asking me how I did it, and I'm just like, just fucking do it.
Just go talk to Sam.
I was like, pipeline people profit, man. Just get the work, then get the guys, and then make the money, and then go again.
Focus on what the current constraint is. Just think about the one thing. What's the one thing that you can solve?
Yeah. So, sorry, did I answer your question?
It sure did, Albert. It sure did. And we're getting late on a Friday afternoon, mate. And I appreciate you dearly for taking the time out of leading the team, growing the company. I know that you would probably much rather be at home cuddling the kids at the moment. And I really appreciate you for coming here, mate. Thank you.